This is the performance summary for week 5 of 2025, which was the week ending Jan 31st. So let's begin by inputting the starting and ending balances. So the starting balance was the one on Jan 24th, where the account had 31,901. And the ending date was Jan 31st. Balance on that day was 32,219. So I made $318 last week, which is a gain of 1%. Now let's input the theoretical trades that were done last week. Go to the website here and we'll grab the trades here. And as we can see, last week we only had 4 trades, not the usual 5. The strategy on occasion may not find up to 5 stocks to trade based on its mean reversion definition. So these were the 4 stocks that were done. This first one is Apple. We made a nice profit on that one, where we made 5.35%. And let's look at the graph. Okay, so the last weekend, there was a big sell-off coming into the morning of Monday because of the news coming out of China from the AI company DeepSeek. So tech stocks had a huge sell-off, and the strategy being flat over the weekend benefited from that, and so it bought on Monday's open and caught the mean reversion upwards pretty nicely. So we made more than 5% here on Apple. Entered here Monday and exited here Friday. Next stock was ConocoPhillips, COP. We lost 3.5% there. So it picked up this reversion that was happening in the previous week and got in here on the Monday, and we lost money over the course of the week. Next one was Intuit. Made 2.5% on that one. So this is the reversion, or the dip that happened in the recent past, and so we got in here on Monday and sold here on Friday. The last one was Merck, where we made about 2.25%, and so this was the dip that it bought, and we made money from here to here. Now let's input the balance into the cumulative tab. So including last week's gain of $318, my running total profit since going live in June of 2024 is now around $6,200. And I started off in June with a starting balance of around $25,000. And so that represents a percentage gain of about 24%. And this is how the cumulative graph looks. So here we are getting closer to the prior peak that was reached on November 29th. And now let's look at a longer term equity curve of this strategy. This is the back test of the strategy going back to 1994. Purple line is the strategy and the gray line is the S&P 500. So that's what it looks like. And let's zoom in a little bit. Here it is, same graph going back to 2004. We can see that it really outperformed the S&P 500 during the subprime crisis. And same graph going back to 2014. Here we can see how it did during the COVID crisis relative to the S&P 500. And this is a graph going back to 2020. So here's the COVID crisis. And here's the year where the S&P had a negative year and the strategy was up. And this is where we're at right now. And this is approximately, well, we went live around in June of 2024, and that's around here. And this is how the equity curve has evolved over that period of time. And this is how the S&P index has done. So we've outperformed it. So that's the performance summary for week 5 of 2025. If you want to learn more about how the strategy works, please visit my website at returnstream.com. Link is in the description box below. Thank you.